Would Spyro's physiology actually allow him to glide with this level of efficiency?
Is that even a thing? Come on, man! Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Chamber of the Wraith. My name is Brian, and today is the day the Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath trailer, gameplay trailer, I should say, is out. And unfortunately, because of work, I am getting the analysis out now. However, I can do frame-by-frame stuff, which makes me personally very excited. And I've got a couple of things that I want to talk about regarding Aftermath and planning, because I'm going to record these characters. They're going to go up on the channel. You know they are. But without further ado, let's get analyzing. The most obvious warning label of all time. Okay, the first things first. I'm just going to boost the volume a little bit. First thing I notice is that you get a pretty sweet remix of the Deadpool theme here. So at least Mortal Kombat 11 is going to get some more pretty sweet music, and also Fujin looks great. It's also very weird that he holds the scabbard, but there's a reason for that, and these analyses are not first-time viewing reactions, obviously, but they're slow-mo analyses regardless.
So you're Raiden's brother.
We are partners in Earthrealm's defense.
Are you also partners in incompetence?
Yo, Shiva! Dude hasn't been in a fighting game in 14 years. You see him, and your first instinct is to roast his ass? Jeez! Anyway.
Fight!
Let's go. So, first off, we get this string, which, let's see. So it starts on this first. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So it's a 13 frame, so it's not. This is not an overhead. This would probably be a mid. Pretty sweet. I don't think you can cancel on hit 2 here because of how the animation is. Da, da. But you probably could cancel into a special on hit 3, so that's fine. Also, I just noticed this. So the voice actor who does Fujin is confirmed to be the same guy who does Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat 11. But that guy also does Adam in Injustice 2. And you can hear it in his... And you can hear an Adam scream here. That was an Adam scream. That was one of the things that Adam was like, ah! Okay, so this is pretty sweet. I'm going to study the animation a little bit. Okay, so it looks like it's a normal. This is a slide normal, which is kind of reminiscent of like a triboard or something. It's a bit strange, but I kind of dig it. And then what I like too is that he oops himself up with a wind thing to get to his feet to knock the opponent down. Okay, so here he is pulling the sword out, swing, swing, just like Ronan Takeda from MKX. But he lets go and lets the wind do the work, which kind of makes me think of like a Kenshi or something. And then, this is sweet, he catches it in the scabbard. He catches his sword inside of its scabbard sheath thing. I keep calling it a scabbard, but that's probably not the right term. We get to see Classic Frost doing an attack. Why? Why? Why did you do Classic Frost? This doesn't... I'm very much a non-fan of classic skins already, but for how they did Frost... like, when I say classic skins, I mean like MK9, or not MK9, that's not classic at all. I mean like MK1, 2, 3, and in this case, Deadly Alliance Frost, because Deadly Alliance Frost is basically just wearing Sub-Zero's MK2 costume, basically, like, in essence, so I'm not a huge fan personally. I way prefer actual cyberized Frost because that's actually kind of cool. Makes her separate from the old criticisms of she's just Lady Sub-Zero. Anywho, that's my critiques aside. Okay, so Shiva has this shield bash, clang, but it doesn't look like it actually stuns. It's just a normal stagger, and then it goes into an animation, into a command grab, a special command grab because of the animation steady. And that's a low. It's a low grab, because the idea is to grab the opponent from a crouch, slam them down, and give them the boot. Okay. I've seen comparisons to Fujin here. I've seen comparisons to Fujin here and how he kind of looks like Virgil, and I can kind of see it, and it makes it kind of weird because they gave him like a Virgil-esque costume, and he has some of the most bonkers animating moves I've ever seen in a Mortal Kombat game. And Virgil's from Devil May Cry, which is full of bonkers shit in and of itself. So, like this, that string alone is pretty sweet. But then we get a... Okay, so this is some sort of command jump, which he amplifies into a kick, into a Jin-style flight, to end with a stab, flying stab, which I guess is supposed to knock down or like hits them, and then he comes to the ground, and then the opponent doesn't. But then he amplifies it again to keep up with the fencing. Now, here's something to note. Sorry for the sound, but look at how far he travels. Okay. Performance issues. Give it a minute. There we go. So, from the meat bucket in the Coliseum, he takes you all the way. Which, by the way, I just want to point this out. This guy's a very aerial character. You can even see the Coliseum now from this angle. That's pretty sweet. But he takes you and is basically at the corner. He's at the corner. He just has to dash in, and then your ass is trapped at the corner. It's friggin' hysterical. Then, this is weird. So, Wake Up. This is a very unique Wake Up. I think this is going to be I don't think this is going to be a true throw, but I think it's going to be safe on block. But regardless, Shiva grabs you and gives you a headbutt. And nobody has a wake-up throw style attack. Everything is just a gut punch, like a get off me. This is a grab, shunk. So this is insane. Nobody has a wake-up like this. And then she goes into a throw. This is her back throw. Stomps you down. Stomps again. Stomps again. Stomps again. And she'd probably just hop off of you afterwards, because this is definitely her back throw. You do see her front throw later. This makes me laugh, because they intentionally zoomed in on Baraka for this shot. They intentionally did that. Presumably for the trailer's sake, but we've had weird camera angle shifts before in other own games, because Scarecrow, when he speaks one line in an intro, and like when he's putting down the tank, when it pans over to the opponent, the angle is different than if, say, Superman were to land, and then you'd get the camera angle of Batman walking through the cloud of smoke. Do you know what I mean? But anyway.
What in the 10 hells are you?
Why? I know that this guy is a guest to replace Ash Williams, because Ash Williams is not going to happen. But of all of the guests they could have picked, they picked RoboCop. I don't know what it is with Mortal Kombat 11's guest roster picks. I like guests. Most of their guests suck. Okay, first off, Terminator. you picked the most bland Terminator character possible. You could have had Connor. You straight up could have had John Connor in here, and he would have been a better Terminator pick. It could have been Sarah Connor. I would have liked to see Sarah Connor in here, but nope, we get Arnie, but not Arnie in a robot suit. Ugh. Spawn is cool. Spawn is nice. It's good to see Spawn. Joker shouldn't have happened. If they wanted to pick a DC guest that promotes Birds of Prey, because that's mostly what they were using this guy for with the timing and everything. They had 2 picks from the Birds of Prey movie. They had at least 2. If we're talking villains, we had Roman Sionis and Victor Zsasz. And okay, maybe they don't have the greatest move set options. Black Mask at least uses guns, number 1, and has chromies and shit. But then if you really wanted to, you could have used Huntress. Huntress is in the movie. Huntress kills people. Huntress has a crossbow and martial arts, and is Helena Bertinelli, so she has a mafia background. I literally could list off over 24 other DC characters, at least, off the top of my head, that I would pick over the Joker. I didn't like the Joker at all. And then you get this guy, fucking RoboCop. Hey. Okay, let's see what you got.
The future of law enforcement.
Future of law enforcement, my ass. You came out in the 80s. Anyways. So, I don't know what he hits him with that is sharp. Does he have 2 of those probe unlock thingies that double as stabby bits? Because I thought he only had the one in his right hand, but last time I saw the first RoboCop, I was maybe 12, so I might have to do a little more research. But because I didn't know he had a friggin' shoulder cannon, for one thing. Hello, Predator. Explode. And then, again, here's the big problem with these robotic guests, is that they don't animate. Like, watch this, watch this. That whole time he didn't move. Or he barely moved. Okay, so he does an input, down back. It's a down back input, and then out comes the riot shield. Again, not animating. Also, I thought it was 3. Oh yeah, it is. 1, 2, 3. And it's a parry at least. I don't know, like I don't get this part of the parry. Like, you should have hit him or something. Maybe it's like you clap, oh, and he just like takes it, but it still looks weird. And then he boots you down. Hopefully there's an amplify that makes it look cool. It makes sense for the cop, for the super cop to have a riot shield. It's just... So here's his forward throw. And then... Okay. Somebody is going to have to explain to me how the hell he gets this rifle. Like, does RoboCop have some sort of drone? There are sparks in there, so maybe it gets teleported in, but I don't know. This also has a crushing blow. Bang. Really, like, if you, like, a fairly quick knee. I don't know if this has more range than the Terminators, though. What does he batter you with? Slug. And then it's like he hits you with something, but I don't see a baton. Oh, it's his gun. Okay. Bow, bow, bow. Okay, and he also has the wrist-mounted rocket launcher to knock you back. Also, can I just say, what a walk cycle. I am robot. No shit. Go into fatal blow. Okay, he puts the fist. I don't know if you needed the probe for that, buddy. Okay, so we're back at the Deadpool. I don't know what that statue is in the back. This statue right here, but... Oh! Okay, so he is actually using the sheath as a weapon. So, first off, he bops you with the hilt of the sword, takes the sheath off. You can see right here, he's taking the sheath off to thwack Sheila in the leg. Then overhead swing, overhead or mid, something like that. And then low stab. He's doing a lot of acrobatics things. Like, he's almost treating this thing like a rapier or whatever the hell sword Shanghua uses in Soul Calibur, but maybe that's where I should base Fujin off of movement-wise, if I ever make him in Soul Calibur. Oh, this is fucking sick. First off, this is that super jump that we saw earlier. And he's like cloud stepping. He's running on wind. And then, as you can see, it gets canceled into a dive kick, which is powered by the wind. Awesome! Whoops! Went too far, I think. Yeah, I did. So we're just gonna... Oh, there's more RoboCop. I forgot. Fatal Blow is where it ends. There we go. And then he amplifies the dive kick once he hits the ground into a... I don't know if that's... Maybe if it can be canceled into an air special. So, like, for extended combos, because Fujin strikes me as the kind of character who's going to have a shitload of combos. But I wonder how much of his stuff is dial-a-combo, like Katana. But we'll see. Okay, so next we get my girl back. She uses lower left to strike with the shield, then catches it in upper right. This is very cool, like how she's like passing the shield back and forth and battering people with it that way. Also, can I talk about the height? Look at how tall Shiva is in comparison to Sindel. Now, I read it somewhere. I don't know exactly where. I think it was an IGN article that there was a command grab of some kind that was overhead, which I thought, overhead command grab? What are you, nuts? Lo and behold, whap, and then smash you with shield. Oof, that's also really good too. Like how fast she gets out of there, and it comes crashing down. I seriously doubt that this tracks. But if it does track like Goro's and MKX, it probably has this, and then predictive forward, and then predictive back, like Goro. Come back down, amplify, cat, get stomped on. Hi, kitty. So block the shadow. Ooh! Okay. So this is tricky to me, because this is probably a special of some kind, where he pulls you in with the wind. And then... Or is it a like a forward or back to? It's hard to tell. But I'm beginning to think it's a normal, because he cancels it into boss-ass tornado. Wow. And then goes into crazy kicks, which also... Look at this shit! Look at that shit. So cool. The sandwich with the wind! Like, they went out all out with Fujin. It's good to see that they didn't fuck around. Boom. And then, here's the thing. Sandwich, and then transition into wind spin. So I think wind spin is part of the special move, and then amplify into stab. Damn, Fujin! And then we get the... How fitting that the two most bland DLC guest characters in Mortal Kombat history are in the same clip. At least RoboCop makes noise and, talks more than just terminate, chill out, and all that jazz. I do like the quick poke with the probe. They're using that a lot. That made a stabbing sound I just noticed. Does RoboCop have spikes in his boots too? Okay, I will preface and admit that I don't know a whole lot about RoboCop. That's fair. That's fair, right? I don't know a lot about RoboCop. I didn't know a lot about Leatherface either, and I ended up really liking him. I can't get behind RoboCop. Anywho, boot and then special cancel into an amplified grenade, which is an electric grenade. I'm getting Demolition Sonya flashbacks here. I wonder, this is probably a crushing blow. That's probably crushing blows in the way that most chop crushing blows, like not Chivas. Who the hell was I thinking of? Shang Tsung's does. Shang Tsung's and Nightwolf's. And then we get Shiva's Fatal Blow, which I kind of dissected before. Okay, this is a bit of an odd one right here. So I would not be surprised if she had a bunch of strings where it's just flurry punches. This might be the start of it. So punch, 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 and then cancel into, I guess, Dragon Stance. She's got fire. Oh, here I saw this, the screenshot with her in this pose. I thought she was charging her giant fireball, which in MK9, the last game she was in, did like 10 to 16% damage. It was stupid strong as far as projectiles go, damage-wise. But now she's flicking them one at a time from each of her hands. And I know we can control this, but I think that because of the fact that it's, I'm going to pretend here, right? Like upper right and then lower left, I wonder if they're mapped to specific buttons. So it would be like 1, 2, 3, 4. So square, triangle, X, circle, or X, Y, A, B, or I don't I don't know what it is for Switch. This is why I use numbers. But and then she amplifies it to chuck her remaining fireballs. So this could be great for tricky zoning. And if like a Jade manages to get to destructive shadows or shadows up, just mash the rest of the fireballs out of there so that you can get out of this stance. And then I wonder if teleport stomp and ground stomp are going to conflict, because they're very similar in nature. She jumps up and she smashes down. It's just, is she going to hit you with the shockwave, or is she going to hit her with her feet? Is the real question, right? With full screen too, so this is strikes me a lot like Jax's ground pound. And it does look like it sends him in the air, but I don't know if it actually combos. Well, it's hard to know. And again, jet boots, because, you know, this was the first sign that it's like, oh god, they're going to take cyber moves, aren't they? Oh, hang on. There we go. Also, the shield stops projectiles, which is kind of neat. I kind of dig that. And then we get the sharp boot into flamethrower. Again, apparently RoboCop has a flamethrower. I did not know this, but it's giving me Wicked Sector vibes, and it's bugging me. Anyway. Okay, this is weird too. So I've never seen her pull off kicks like this too. So I wonder if Shiva's been working out in the leg department. I wouldn't be surprised. But this is weird. This is an alternate meter burn. She meter burns it with all four and gets basically hell sparks. The question then becomes, is that an ability or is that base? And are we also going to get different meter burns depending on how much fire there is? Because if you have all four fire and it does that, cool. Or if you have 1 less fireball, 2 less, 3 less fireballs, just amplify it. I also... The nature of Mortal Kombat is that all of the characters use the interactables in the same way, but I don't like that. I personally would have liked it if they did the power gadget character split that they did in Injustice. Like, that bell should be thrown by the likes of Shao Kahn and Raiden and Terminator and RoboCop, not jumping off of it and getting hang time. And Shiva would be perfect for that. Pick it up and just yeet. But no. And as you'll see later, there's a display of super strength that makes me think everybody in the Mortal Kombat universe is at least this strong, and it would just be fucking silly. Unless they have different animations for it, but we're not there yet. So this is her back throw that I mentioned way earlier when she was stomping, and that's her back throw. This is her front throw. Because, yeah, I'm just going to replay it a little bit early so that we can get the buffers out of the way. Watch. Hit me punches, smash, catch, moves. But in the same direction. So that's the front throw. Then we get something that Fujin has not had since Mortal Kombat 4. The crossbow. Also, I love his face when he's shooting these magical wind crossbow bolts at you. And I was right. This is the second part of the Fujin Fatal Blow we didn't see. And then part 3 comes in when the sword swings in. That's the end of relevant gameplay stuff. Now we get to talk all of the crazy ways that people die. So first off, point up, cue the lights. Right here. Okay. Shiva lifting a Mortal Kombat arcade machine. That is not easy to do. That is not easy to do at all. I gotta look this up, actually. That's why I went there. I gotta look this up real quick. So, pardon me just a moment, if you would please. I just want to look up how heavy an arcade machine is. I think they're 500 pounds, but... So... Let me see here. No, like... Why am I searching through Yahoo? There we go. Yeah, so according to digitpress.com, arcade machines weigh about 300 pounds, which is kind of cool. Depending on the cab, 180 to 300 pounds. That is not small, by the way. 180 pounds is a little bit lighter than me, so that's a full-size person made of metal and stuff. But then, with a full-size arcade machine, it could weigh upwards of 300 pounds. And Shiva's just picking it up like it ain't no thing. I don't know why I did the transition there, but... And smash. She smashes the Deadly Alliance machine, too. Like, come on. Come on, man. Could you have at least picked on the classic Mortal Kombat titles? Or, like, Shaolin Monks? Did you have to pick on Deadly Alliance? Okay. So, swing? Okay, this is weird. So they are... Oh, does he throw the scabbard? Oh, it's a wind thing. It's not even the sword. It's like a hurricane. And pieces of him have been cut before, so this is probably by the wind. So he's been throwing wind pieces via his sword and then throws his sword. I was wondering what was happening there. No! Oh my god. Fight! Okay, so this is the fatality we've seen before, or a screenshot for. Stabs out your throat, and then I just noticed this. It might be a bit of a bitch to see, but you could kind of see this weird scanline filter to show RoboCop's vision. It's kind of cool. Shoots his hand off. Sorry, I like the Joker's expression, like, come on, man, that was my good hand. Anyway, so here comes a Shiva fatality that is kind of cool. It's a combination of two of them. But notice, her arms are still attached. So what did she rip off? She ripped off her skin and much of her muscle, so it's just her arms attached to poor Sindel, and she's just like, this is an appropriate reaction to having your freaking arm skin torn off. Jeez. There we go. Alright. And then up she goes. I wonder if she's going to pull another Goro and just yank all of the limbs off but from here, because we don't see the end of this fatality. This I do remember. I don't remember it making a fucking jaguar roar or some shit, but hey, it is what it is. I do remember this shooting a guy a whole lot. RoboCop loads up. And even he feels the recoil from this thing. And as you can see, Johnny Cage's right hand is gone. Not his left, but that's because of the different sides. Remember, fatalities are basically mirrored, so dismemberment in this case is going to happen this way, where it's just going to be his right hand instead of his left, based off of which side of the screen he's on. Then we get a stage fatality. Alley-oop. Squish. I also like that it's Fujin killing Noob Saibot, kind of like Mortal Kombat Mythologies. I also like that he's killing him in the classic skin, because the classic skin is terrible, but anyway. Bye! Stab! It's also nice to see that it's not just the new stages that are going to get stage fatalities. I mean, I know we saw that with the tournament stage, but this helps it too, because that means more than one, which might mean that the Beast Pen gets a stage fatality. I can't wait to see if they do multiple stage fatalities with different pets and monsters and things. That'd be awesome! Anyway, moving on. Okay, so another RoboCop one. Clang! Okay. Okay, I will admit, the clang from Paraka getting decked by the grenade, I will admit, is pretty funny. Clang! And then targeting, there's the scan lines again. But this is easily my favorite fatality of the whole thing. I don't know what happened before this, by the way. We don't see the beginning of this one, kind of like how we don't see the end of the other one that we saw with Shiva. But the end here, and you can tell it's a different one because Scorpion still has his arms. But, oh my god, it is horrific what she does here. Get her out of there! My god! My god! That is a glorious Shiva fatality. Very, very nice. I'd love to see what the hell she does to you beforehand, though. Does she just smash you around and shit? I don't know. Bang! Quick draw. So, this is also a reference. Except, I feel like that's a little bit high. That seems a little bit high to be hitting him in the nads, but I think that's just aim a little high so that you can hit him in the nads for a character like Shao or Kotal. But regardless, pow, bang, boo, and that's your end. We ended on RoboCop pulling a striker. Damn. And that's about it. That's everything I could find in the Aftermath expansion, which, by the way, I did finally manage to get after a week of trying. They also updated a few things. They gave Deception Sub-Zero a new mask, and they also have Scorpion's milky eyes. What I really want to see is what colors are we gonna have? Because if I could get this in green, this would be my new Kryptonite Scorpion loadout. But I don't know. I want to see what colors there are here first. I also want to see if these two have their beards on, because I mean, if they don't have their beards, whatever, I'll just chuck the mask back on. But I think it would be pretty cool if they had their beards, and Frost's classic skin shouldn't have happened, in my opinion. It really shouldn't have happened. But that's it for this analysis. Don't forget to be awesome, guys. I'll see you on the other side.